Okay, and after you've downloaded Eclipse and run it, you'll be greeted with a box like this. Ignore the outside bit, that's because I've already got it open before. And you'll be greeted with a default workspace. This is my own one, yours will be different to that. But it should be fine. If you want to change it, just click browse and choose a folder, you can make one. And then you just hit launch. And then it loads up from here. And it will launch into the Eclipse. It will greet you with a welcome page, which you just press the X button to. The X being over here, that'll get up the welcome page for you. I'll just delete this and restart it. Shouldn't take too long to restart. I've got a SSD in here. Actually, I've got two, but details. There you go, and it just loads up. Okay, it's not giving me the page I want it to for this demonstration. I'll delete that. Oof. There we go. So, just once you've selected your workspace, it just loads up like so. You get greeted with a welcome page here, and we just click X to that. Okay, and then you make a new project. Okay, so now we just open up our IDE and it will come up with a welcome page. Just click X to that and you'll be on the same sort of page as me. Oh, sorry about that. You'll be on the same sort of page as me. So what we've got here is Project Explorer. That's going to be all your projects and the different files in them. This bit in the middle, that's going to be where your code is. Outline, that's going to be the sort of classes and methods within your file. And you've got the task list, so if you have any, you can use the comments to declare tasks and they'll all appear in there. So what we're going to do is File, New, Project, Java Project. I'm going to name this one Hello World. And I need to get in the right JRE because I've got a different one on, so we're going to name this one Hello World. Yep, so we just choose our Java 8. Next, then we've got all of these things here. We don't need to use any of these things. You've got settings for libraries and adding different folders for source, linking additional source. But we don't need to use any of those at the moment, so we can just press finish. Open perspective, and here we go. So we currently have our system library, that's the version of Java we've installed, and the src folder that has our source code in. So we need to start by making a package. These will contain our source code, so I'm going to call this one Hello World. There we go. So these allow you to sort your code into different folders of basically what they are, so you can have ones for networking, ones for rendering graphics, or whatever you need. Then we're going to go and press this C button next to the new Java package button and make a class. This is going to be a .java file that which is going to be the file executed when the program is run. So we're going to have a tick for public static void and a tick for inherited abstract methods. And we're going to give it a name. I'm going to have this as Hello World. You can't have any spaces in your name. We'll come up with this thing about the name because convention based off an uppercase letter, but I ignore that. And then we've got this. So you've got package Hello World relating to the package it's stored in, which is the folder within the source folder. You need to have that, otherwise it won't compile. Public class Hello World. Public meaning that any other class file can declare one, and if it's got any static variables they can look at them and change them. So we've got our public static void main string args that allows you to put arguments into the console. You need them there because otherwise it won't compile. And this main function is what gets executed when you run the program. So it had this here, which is the comment. You can tell by the double slash. And it's got to do, which just puts it on the task list over there, the task list. And I don't use the task list at all. And it's just auto-generated method stop, so that's just saying that it put this code here for us. Okay, so we're going to make it print Hello World. So we do system this gets a system function. Dot out. This is the output stream of the system. Dot print ln, print line, and then we're going to put in brackets with these big speech marks rather than the singular one. We got the double. It's going to be hello world. There we go. Save the project and hit the play button. And as you can see in the console, it says hello world. Making it do that is good and all, but we need to have some variables for this to get useful. So we're going to start with local variables within this method. So what we're going to have is int a, which is an integer. We're going to set it to the value of 5. Then we're going to have int b, another integer variable, to the value of 7. And what we're going to do is system.out.println a plus b. Then we're going to have another plus sign, and then we're going to have a string here with these double speech marks, and we're going to have is the sum of a and b. So that will print out what a plus b is, which are these two variables here. So as you can see, 12 is the sum of a and b, where a is 5 and b is 7, and that does add up to 12. You can also have if statements, so you can have if a is 5, then we can make it print a is 5. And as you can see, it prints a is 5 because a is 5. You can also have if b is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or b not equal to. So we have if b is not equal to 0, which it isn't, and we can make it print b is not 0. Okay, so these here are what we call Boolean functions, Boolean statements even, and I'll go and make a tutorial on these at a later point. But all you need to know for now is equals, double equals sign, which is if the first thing is equal to the second thing, greater than or less than, and the greater than or equal to and less than and equal to ones. And those should be sufficient for now. There's also quite a few other things you can put in there and have it so that you have if true, true being a Boolean value, then we can have true is true. Oh, pressed the wrong button. There we go. So you can have if true, then it will print true is true. And we always know that true is true, so this code here will always execute. So as you can see, a is 5, b is not 0, and 2 is true. Now you can also have different variables up here. So for example, you can have a static int, static meaning the main function can access it in this case, and also meaning that other functions in other classes. So now we're going to make a global variable on our program here. So we have static int. This means that the main class can call it, and we're going to call this d. We can set a value here, 7 or 8, and we can use it in here just like any of the other. So if I copy this code for b, then we can have d is not equal to 0, and it runs it just fine. So now I'm gonna make some code to print out the values of all of these variables we've got so far. So we've got d, a, b, c, and d, a, b, c, d, and oh, we don't have c, never mind. I made c. And as you can see, it prints out the values we've given it. We can also get input from the console by making a new scanner that will scan system.io, system.in. This is where the keyboard input and stuff comes in, and we need to import it. We hover our mouse over it where it's got the red line, and we import it from java.util at the top.
What?
And once we've made our scanner, we can assign it to a variable. I'll make the variable C here, so we have int C equals 0. We initialize it, so if no one puts any input in, it has a value. And we do C equals scan.nextInt. So that's our scanner. It gets the next integer from it. Then we want to close the scanner, and then we're print the value that we have on C. 163.10. We're pitching C. We click play, and when we need to put in a number, we put in 6. It'll print out 6. And you can make it from the user. So if I just do this here, and we put type in a value. I remember the A in value. Then as you see, it's type. Oh no, it needs to be just here. Sorry, just above the thing where it gets the input. Type in a value, and we can put in 26, and we'll then print it. You can also have it so it says anything before C, so such as you typed C, and then we just put in the number 5, and it's you type 5. So that's the basics of Java. So please like and subscribe. Next episode coming soon.